Hey everybody, how you doing today? It's Stefan Rudolph again on About Us for the New Foundations Growth Group, giving you a little bit of background about our story as a company and also my personal story and journey that led me to founding this company here in 2014. And what I've done is come together with different authors, speakers, life coaches, and leaders in all areas that help other people grow to get the message out there, because it was the message of others that inspired me to grow my spirit within and take my life, my body, my mind, my spirit to the next level. And I want to let you know that anything is possible. I call it turning the impossible to I'm possible in the blink of an eye, and the impractical to I'm practical, and the impatient to I'm patient, all those areas. What I've gone through and what I've been through in life to still be here is pretty amazing when I look back on it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but after 2 hernia surgeries, a pulmonary embolism, 3 endoscopies, and over 20 plus years of epilepsies, epileptic seizures, epilepsy problems, 2 epileptic car accidents, multiple grand mal seizures in the court, in the racquetball court, that is, and also in the weight room, trying to work out, trying to stay healthy, and brain surgery that did not work in 2007. I went through many hardships at that point. I went through bankruptcy as well in 2008 and had some hard financial times, divorce, everything else that led to nearly a mental breakdown, I would say, but just going from the top to the bottom. Had $1 million home in Anaheim at one point in 2002, 3, and 4. Was in the pharmaceutical industry for years. Did very well financially, but the story where it begins is coming to a point in life where I did not have it all, because, as I mentioned, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Now, I had it all financially, but what is that? That is only 20% of life. That is basically an F on your report card for life. And physically, I was out of shape. I was 50 pounds heavier. I was having stomach problems from the alcohol that I was drinking, the partying that I was doing, living life. And it all goes back to a high school football injury that I had. During that time, I had epilepsy all through the years. So the epilepsy was handled for about 10 to 12 years with medication. I was on Tegretol, Topamax, Keppra, Depakote, all kinds of medications that, if you're familiar with epilepsy, those will sound very familiar to you. So the side effects, I was able to handle, I would say, my drinking and my lifestyle and the normal lifestyle of a rich, successful person that was happily married, beautiful home, everything going for me except the happiness within. That's where this new foundation was started back in 2004, just the idea of it, of having to find that foundation with speakers like Tony Robbins, for example, where he came to me and I purchased some of his CDs one time. I heard his message and I knew that there was more out there in life. And when I started going through my first bout with epilepsy at work and then having a seizure on the road in 2004, that's when everything changed. I lost my car, ended up in divorce, ended up gambling and drinking and trying to find an escape from reality, because the reality that I was in of the financial success was not bringing me happiness. What I found later, in the happiest time of my life here in the past 3 years, was that coming back physically, mentally, emotionally, and as I said, spiritually, it was a big point in my life where I shifted to see that, hey, you know what? The money will come. And it doesn't matter about that. If we live for money, we can die with the biggest coffin ever, the gold coffin. What's that going to do? It's like the material items were not bringing me happiness. And that's where this foundation comes into play, why I love life coaches, why I got certified myself in life coaching, recovery coaching, in those areas, spiritual coaching, is to help others see that we cannot live for the money alone. It's not all about the bling bling. It's not all about the cars, everything else. Of course, that does help. Like Les Brown says in his own words, it's not going to hurt. But at the same time, we cannot live for that area alone. Otherwise, we will die alone. And what I found out by being alone is that I became, first of all one. I turned alone to all one with myself by searching within, by finding myself the spiritual way of meditation, awareness, and prayer. The brain surgery did not work in 2007. I kept having seizures after that period. I tried playing racquetball and getting back into shape in 2008 and 9. Had multiple seizures in racquetball courts, in the weight room, and more. It was also because I was trying to get the lifestyle of drinking back into my life and have a few beers with the guys, go out and relax, I call it, if you know that term. After a hard day or hard week at work, it was not conducive to having overcome brain surgery. While at the same time I did sober up for a year, it did not help. The epilepsy did not go away. That's where I started in implementing meditation, awareness of what I was eating, how I was fueling my body, as I call it, and prayer to my higher power, to God. So meditation, awareness, and prayer, what I call MAP, M-A-P, meditating, daily, deep breathing techniques. And if you look that up under seizures and epilepsy, what meditation does for that, it was huge. It was my first step in seeing that I could overcome the epilepsy, and which I did. I started being more aware of how I was fueling my body, because my body is not like anybody. It's not like nobody. It's somebody. It's my body. So that's what I started being aware of with the health, nutrition, everything else in my life. And over time, within about a 2-year period, I was able to get off my medication personally. Now, I would, of course, not suggest that at all, but I was able to get off because the side effects were unbelievable, and I did not want those anymore. The negative was outweighing the positive. And through my awareness of what I was eating, when I ate fast food, when I didn't get enough sleep, even the negative energy I was around, the stress at work, as many of you epileptics know, the stress can be very, it will implement those seizures right away. So I started changing my lifestyle completely. So that's part of my story, and by 2013 I was back in the racquetball courts. I took number 3 in the state here in California for racquetball last year, and went on to the state, to the national championships as well. Didn't do so good there, but still I'm having fun in the courts, and it's unbelievable because I've had many of seizures, and also in the inspiration of this and to inspire others, I was able to get co-authored with a book with Les Brown, and that's called Living with Heart, and you'll see that information on our website, or just go to livingwithheartonline.com, livingwithheartonline.com, and it'll talk about one of my epileptic accidents on the road there. And the whole point about this is New Foundations Growth Group was founded on overcoming obstacles, overcoming adversities, and being your own leader, and not following the negatives of others, the negative effects of others, of naysayers in your life, and want you to just focus on listening to the messages that we have for you. And you can overcome anything. You are your own doctor. You can prescribe your own health. That is the first way to go. So I wanted to pass this message on to everybody. Enjoy our website. Feel free to contact me if you'd like to talk further about getting your message out there, or just in general, just talking further about overcoming